Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I greatly appreciate you tuning in. Today's video is a little different. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I had it in the back of my mind. Matthew and I we've talked about it. This is for either potential Wood Mizer buyers or new Wood Mizer owners. There's a lot you don't know. I see a lot of people asking questions, so we're going to try to answer some of them today. What is a Wood Mizer and what can you expect from it? So hang on, we'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back. Let's do a quick overview of this Wood Mizer LT35. Now if you've got a 40, a 50, if your first mill is a 40 or 50, good for you. You know, you really sunk an investment in it. But most people, when they start with a mobile mill, they do like I did, they bought a 35 because it's kind of the most cost effective. So what is this? You know, this is a Wood Mizer band mill, and if you've ever run a band saw at a wood shop, you know it sets up right. Some innovator years ago at Wood Mizer turned that on its edge, put a bigger motor on it, bigger, thicker saw blade, made a sawmill. Good idea. They've sold millions of them. Okay, this 35 comes with an electric over hydraulic system. Matthew's got all the controls right here while he's manipulating them. Raise the lift arms. There you go. Lower. Push your clamp out and up. Okay. On a 35, if he raises the lift arms all the way up, then it engages the claw, your turning arm, and that helps rotate the cant. And it also comes with two toe boards. The front one and a rear one. Now, if you're in the process of ordering your 35, let me tell you one thing, do not skimp on it. It comes standard with these two lift arms. For a little bit extra, they'll put the rods in to where all four arms work together. It ought to be a standard item, but it's not. I know a couple guys local that's got them that didn't come with the all four arms that work together. Good money to spend. Okay. You got the log lift as well. Oh yeah, this one has the log lift. Sorry about that. Yeah, Matthew's lifting the log lift. Now we don't use, if you've watched our videos, you know we don't use the log lift a whole lot because we load with the tractor and offload a lot. But it's still handy. You know, if I'm cutting, a lot of times we'll cut two logs, put one on the mill, one on the lift arms, and we'll go through two of them before we go get two more. So we do use them.
So if you don't have a claw on a tractor, use a log lift.
Yeah, if you don't have a claw on your tractor or some kind of grapple to hold your log, loading them on the mill can be very problematic. But we're not talking about sawing, we're talking about Wood Mizer. So it's an electric over hydraulic. There's an electric motor here that runs your travel head up and down. It has a computer built into it. This is their standard simple set. That's all you need to start with, guys. If you're mobile milling, I wouldn't recommend spending the money on the AccuSet 2. It's a big expense that you're not going to use. You almost need to be production sawing to even have the AccuSet 2 because you're not going to use it. You're going to use the features that come with a simple set, and they call it simple for a reason. It's got two settings in it that I can preset. And you know, if I'm cutting 1-inch boards and for whatever reason, I'm gonna cut some 1.5" occasionally during the day. I can have 2 sets, 1 inch, 1.5". Or if I'm cutting a lot of 1.5", 3.5", I can have an 1.5" for the thickness, and I can have a 3.5" for the width. And when I'm sawing and I want to drop down 3.5", I just change the simple set to the next one, hit down, I drop 3.5 and make a cut. So, whew. It's a great tool. It comes standard on the 35s, 40s, and maybe even the 50s, just the Accu's regular simple set. Mobile. More likely you're buying a 35 or 40 because it's mobile. You want to do some mobile milling. That's a total, I won't even go to it. I'm not even gonna go there. That's a topic for another video. But this mill is mobile. We got our fenders hanging on the wall. We put the fenders on it, put the mill back down on the home hinge, hang it down, fold the arms up, and off we can go. Go do mobile milling. Maintenance. These mills require a lot of maintenance, guys. Even new. Dogs are running through the camera this morning. Even new, they require a lot of maintenance. Every 50 hours, we change the oil. I think they recommend 100, but I've got almost 1,600 hours on this mill, and every time we change the oil at 50 hours, it's black. Now, if I changed it at 50 hours and it looked golden brown, I'd probably go 100, but that's why I don't. And an oil change cheap. Over here on my shelf, I got 6 or 8 Fram filters. I buy them for $3.50 a piece off of Amazon. I use a Fram 3600. It's an old Toyota Camry filter. It's the exact size, but it's twice as big. Holds twice the volume of oil. And I buy oil by the gallon, or 5 quarts. It's like $22. You know, it's a cheap oil change. It's money well spent. You won't regret it. But even new, they require maintenance. Your guide rollers, your belts are a maintenance item. They're going to wear out. You'll figure this out as you get into it. There's a lot of stuff you got to have. Now, let's go over a few things that you see in videos or you hear in videos, and maybe you don't know what they are. So, in the bandsaw world, there's 2 terms that you're always going to hear: the drive side and driven side. Well, on a Wood Mizer, you got your engine sitting somewhere here. The 35 really hadn't changed. This side of the mill is called the drive side because your motor goes down and catches the belt and drives this this side. And then the band goes around over to this side, and this makes this side the driven. So let's go to the other side so we can see it. Okay. Kind of at a disadvantage here, but here's your drive belt off the motor. It drives this pulley, which in turn drives this one. So if you're standing here with me, this is your drive side because it's powered by the motor, and this is your driven side. So anytime you're looking at your book that says drive versus driven, you understand. Now here's your guide rollers. This is going to be one of your main wear items. The roller itself lasts a long time. It's the bearings that wear out. And you'll hear them as soon as they start roaring. You need to change them. The other major wear item is your drive belts. I see a lot of people, why is my belt loose? Well, this is the way it's supposed to be when it's under tension. It has some slop in it. And the same thing on the driven side. You got another drive belt. Now guys, just as a quick tech tip, you need to keep these things clean. If you're sawing oak, poplar, they probably never get dirty. But if you're sawing some pine, sappy wood, these belts get nasty. I don't know that I've ever had to take one off in the middle of the cut and clean it, but when the blade comes off, you definitely need to take them off, clean them. Clean the inside. Take that belt off and clean the inside of it here, and check the inside of your wheel. Make sure you don't have buildup on it. Now, I have a few questions. What is this? People never seen one. I will tell you, this is the first one that was put on an LT35 in America. When I ordered mine, these were not available. They had the old spring-loaded ones you move by hands. This was the first electric one that come out on a production mill in 2014, and it didn't get installed from the factory. They actually had to send a factory rep out here to put it on after the fact. But this is one of the first electric movement. It's electric, because here's the electric motor that moves it in and out.
Still ain't told them what it is yet.
It's called a debarker. It runs this little motor here right along. It's in parallel with your cut. It cuts a little wider, 1/4 inch groove for your 1/8 inch blade to travel through. It's another item. It's an extra expense. You won't regret it if you're cut. I don't care if your wood's clean. There could be something in that bark, and this debarker will dig it out before your blade goes through it. There's a lot of times I can't run it. When we're cutting big wood, and I've dropped 3 or 4 inches. Well, you can't. It won't work. And I can tell the difference when I run it on a whole log without using a debarker. It will take some sharpness out of the blade running through that bark. So this is money well spent. I forget $1,200, $1,500. Don't worry about it. Pay for it. You won't regret it. What are we missing over here, Matthew? Wear items, parts, pieces. Bands. While we're here, bands. Most of you getting started are not doing what Matthew and I do, production sawing, every day. You're a weekend sawing, you're sawing for yourself, maybe doing a little mobile milling. Try a few blades and see what works best in your area. I would recommend, if you only want to buy one box to start with, buy you a box of Turbo 7s and try them. That's kind of the best all-around blade I've found. You can cut softwoods real good. You can cut medium hardwoods real good. You can cut green hardwoods real good. Now, if you're cutting hickory, white oak, pecan every day, that's all you're ever going to saw, it may not be the most appropriate blade. But for just all-around general purpose, start with a Turbo 7. If you're sawing ponderosa pine every day, maybe you want a 10 degree, cut it a little faster. But here in the South, with our hardwoods and softwoods having really hard, dense knots, the Turbo 7 is a good all-around blade for us. Enough about blades. That's kind of the main wear items. Your belts, your rollers, your blades, maintenance on the motor. Of course, everything's got a few grease fittings you got to grease. Now, let's go over here and talk about production. I get a lot of questions, and I see a lot of questions on Wood Mizer owners, Wood Mizer official Facebook. There's a bunch of them out there, and if you're not on one, I suggest you get on one. You'll learn a lot just reading the questions and the answers people have. Now, what can you expect to do with one of these if you buy it, as far as production? I think it's been a long time, but I think they recommend these a maximum cut 24, 30-inch log, something like that. Well, I'll be honest with you, I've cut a 40-inch log. It's very difficult, but it can be done. The width of cut. Well, the maximum width of cut is between your 2 guide rollers and the lift arms. Now, if you measure between them, stick a measurement on that, Matthew. It says, 26 inches. Well, it won't cut 26 inches because I'm sitting on this guide rail, and you're inboard of that about 2.5 inches. I think our maximum cut is 23 inches. And let me tell you, on a 35 with a 25 horsepower motor, that's a hard cut. It takes a long time, it's slow, you're dragging a lot of blade through it. So, what can you expect production-wise? A lot of the variables on production is where you're set up, what you're sawing, what blades you're running, and what equipment do you have to help you. So, it's a Wood Mizer. I think these are around 400 feet an hour, 380 board feet an hour. That's a stretch, people. they were sawing on a good day with probably some real good lumber. I can do 12 to 1,800 board feet by myself in a day if I got real good wood. I'm sawing bigger boards, and I got tractor to help and different things.
I think the max we've done ever is 3,000 in a day, but there were 4 of us.
Yeah,
we were sawing 2x4s and 2x6s all day.
Yeah, we've done some big days. I've sawed 1,800 feet in 3 hours, but I was sawing 3-inch thick live edge white pine. I mean, it was just hogging off some big old honking slabs. Well, that ain't gonna happen every day. You kind of average one-man operation. If you can do 1,000, 1,200 feet a day and clean up your mess and get everything put away, clean your mill up, get it all put away in a day's time, that's a pretty good day, pretty average day with a Wood Mizer. Now, if you're sawing all 10 by 10 beams and you're throwing all the waste away and you're not secondary processing it, oh yeah, we've mobile milled for a customer before. We sawing 12 by 12 posts. My Lord, we sawed a mountain of wood that day, but we were hogging out for 12 by 12s because most of these logs were right in that perfect range. It was cut, 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 off. Give me another one. Cut, 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 off. Give me another one. And he did good mobile milling as far as production wise because we knocked out some big beams. But if you're sawing 1x4s, you know, that's a lot of cuts, a lot of moving. We'll have video out. We're sawing a bunch of 4.5, 5, 6.5, 8.5, 10.5. We're sawing 4 different options, and we'll do pretty good with it because we're shooting for the bigger. If it won't make the bigger, we'll step down one size, then one size, and then another. And we won't throw nothing away. There'll be a lot, everything get used. Oh, production, before I get off on a tangent. Our production won't be the same as yours. 1, we've got 10 plus years experience. 2, we got 2 tractors we use to maximize the effort. 3, I got a Matthew that's an incredible helper. And 4, we got an edger. And we're also working in the shade. Working in the building makes a world of difference.
And our dust collector. We don't have to tromp through sawdust all day.
Yeah, and we run a vacuum system that keeps the sawdust up out of the floor, out of your way. Trust me, people, we started sawing in the yard, in other people's yards, and you lose time tripping over sawdust piles, having to stop and get your snow shovel out and shovel sawdust out of the way. There's a lot of things that'll hurt your production. That's why you mobile mill by the hour, not by the board feet. Now, when you production sawing at home, you're sawing by the board feet, you want to get all you can, you want to maximize your yield, and this is a good tool to help you do that. Are they sawmills out there that saw faster? Yes. Are they any sawmills out there that saw better quality? Not particularly. I've not owned a Wood Mizer or Woodland Mills. I've not owned a Lucas, not owned some of a Baker. I would rank Baker and Wood Mizer quality wise probably about dead on because they're both real good quality bandsaw mills. But as far as quality, you're not going to get any better. Can you take an old circle saw mill and outsaw this? Yes. But
you got at least 4 people running it.
You need at least 4 people running a big circle mill. You have a significant amount more of investment. You have a lot more moving parts and pieces. Wood Mizer moved into a segment here for mobile milling and home milling that you can't do with a circle mill. I got a cousin right across the way here that has one. I hadn't heard it run in a long time. It's not convenient to run. You can own one of these and mobile mill or weekend mill. You can mill twice a year. As long as you keep it over in the shed, keep it greased up where it don't rust, it ain't hurt nothing. And the investment on this is nothing compared to the investment on a circle mill. I'm sure you can buy a new one. I don't know what a new one costs. I know what used ones cost. I can buy a good setup used circle mill for under 100 grand. Okay. Well, then you got to go get it. Take a week, take it all apart, bring it home. Then you got to put it in a big old monstrous building. You got to get it set up. You got to have either power supply or you got to have 3-phase power to run it. Yeah. If I was doing production work, let's turn over here. The sun's getting horrible. if my main goal was to just do 10,000 board feet a day every day, I'd probably go buy me a Edmondson circle mill. But that's not our goal. Our goal is for Matthew and I to make a living, turn out some of the prettiest wood money can buy, and secondary process it. That's a whole nother video, in kiln drying and molder planing. But here's some wood that we sawed yesterday. You don't get no better. When the mill's set up right, the blade's right, everything's running right, you can put that on the side of your house. There's no waves in it. There's none of this crazy circle mark cut that some people like. I don't care for that. I want my board to look like it was cut and cut beautifully. So, value over cost. One of these mills nowadays, a 35, brand new, you're $32,000 time you get it all decked out with the extra lift, the extra arms and hydraulics, the debarker. $30,000 sounds like a lot of money, and it is. But for what you get, it's a drop in the bucket. $30,000, you can go home and you can cut enough wood to build your house. You can cut enough wood to build your barn. You cut for your friends and family, make a little money. They're somewhat inexpensive to run. Fuel, we normally burn 5 gallons a day if we're sawing a 8-9 hour day. Blades, if you don't hit no foreign material, you don't saw dirty wood, about 3 to 4 blades a day. Kind of averages 300 to 500 board feet per blade. Then you need to get it off there, put another one on. Whether it's dull or not, get it off, let it rest, resharp it, you can use it again. Maintenance, like I say, on a new mill, just belts, or blades, drive belts, and roller bearings. About 300 to 500 hours, your first bearings are going to wear out in those guide rollers. And your manual. Matthew's got the manual out here. Our manual never gets put up. It stays right there.
We've had it for 10 years, and we break it out at least once a week.
Yeah, we've run this Wood Mizer for over 10 years, and we still pull the manual out. We've gotten better on doing our setups. We'll use the manual. Sometimes you can do a little quick and dirty, kind of just check the head, check the blade, and then every now and then you got to go back and start at zero, level everything. And that's about a 2-hour process with 2 people who know what they're doing. But anybody can learn to do it. So at the end of the day, is a Wood Mizer worth the cost? Yes, by far. I do not regret any day ever buying my Wood Mizer, other than the fact of what it will cause you to do.
We got a whole video on that.
And on other things. And we have a video for that if you go back and watch it. I've done one a while back, 10 reasons not to own a Wood Mizer. And it was a little bit of play on words, but it's kind of the 10 things that are going to happen after you buy a Wood Mizer. I recommend you watch that one. It was a good one. I got a lot of comments. A lot of people said, yep, you're right. And I even had some people add some things that I missed in there to go along with it. So I believe that's going to do it, guys. This is a straight up video on what to expect on a Wood Mizer if you buy one. And if you have one, congratulations, welcome to the team. We're glad to have you. If you're looking at one, you won't regret it. Now, if you think you're gonna buy one of these and saw 10,000 board feet a day, and that's kind of the point of this video, don't think that. That's not how they're made. That's not what they're made for. They have that the suggested board feet per hour, and that's probably a little bit on the high side. So if you're getting one of these and you can do 1,000 to 1,200 board feet a day, feel good about yourself. That's about right where you should be. If you're putting out good quality lumber that you wouldn't be ashamed to put on your house, on the outside, without doing anything to it, just nail it up, then you're producing what people want to buy. That's going to do it, guys. We greatly appreciate you watching. Can't thank you enough for all you do, all your support, all the comments, all the likes. Matthew and I don't take it for granted. As always, we thank Solomon. Him and Matthew do all our video editing. That's a job in itself. That's another career. But Solomon runs a couple YouTube channels. He's got Third Beard Fishing, as well as Eastern Florida Pythons. And my daughter-in-law and Solomon run a design company, 525 Designs. They'll do logos, stuff. We had a local sawyer, had him do a new logo for them. Turned out excellent. If you're watching, I'm still waiting on my hat. So, but give them a check out, and that's going to do it today, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.